Hi, anyone and everyone. This is Kim, the Humble Hermit from Come As You Are Oracle. I'm going to do a collective oracle and affirmations for today. Today is Wednesday, November 12th, 2025. You may follow me on the Talk the Tube, my blog, or not. Totally up to you. Take what resonates. It all might resonate. It's affirmations. We're going to use the Shadowland Lenormand deck by Monica Bodursky. I think I bought another deck of hers too. Now I can't think of what it is. I think I have it somewhere. I probably look at it every damn day. Every damn day. We got one on the table. I'm just looking for like 3, 4 cards, something like that. 2 on the table. Let's do one more shuffle. Of course, I take whatever falls out. All right. Whatever. I set the intention of the read. I take whatever falls out. I'm going to do one more shuffle. So whatever falls out, whatever's on the table. The only thing I don't accept is when I drop something, and that happens more often than not. I have neuropathy in my hands, so I feel like I'm constantly dropping stuff. All right, let's see what's going on with the shadow. We got child. We've got son. We've got key. I think somebody needs to shine a light on something from their childhood, some trauma, to find some type of key, some type of connection to something. Protein shake. It's kind of like my breakfast because my lunch is going to be breakfast, but at lunch. And it probably will be my dinner too. Does that make sense? Listen, we all know healing oneself is going to open you up for more possibilities in life, in situations with people, work opportunities, friend circles, getting back together with family members, or losing friends, losing family. Either way, it's kind of funny too because I'm just going to give this as an example because I was talking to 2 of my friends at work. They're a little bit older than me. They're probably like about 10, 12 years older than me. And we were talking about our childhoods or something like that. And one of them was like, "Oh yeah, you didn't have a lot growing up." And I'm like, "Didn't have a lot growing up." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "I had a lot growing up." I said, "My brother and I were the only grandkids on my dad's side with my grandparents." I said, "And my mom spoiled us rotten because she came from a big family and didn't have much as a kid for herself. So when she had kids, it was like she wanted to give her kids more than she had. So my brother and I told them, I said, my brother and I were spoiled rotten. But there's also issues behind that, right? Like my mom growing up with 7 brothers and sisters and not having a lot, and her and my dad didn't really have a lot. Like we weren't a rich family. So if you can hear what I'm saying here, and I was talking to them about, when I was in my 20s, and there was a period of time where I was practically starving and I had to steal food from my job. And I've never told you guys this. I don't think I've ever told you guys this. Because there were some things going on like beyond my control. Now, and you say beyond your control, but really, I mean, I could have left at any time. Like I didn't have to live there technically. I did, because where else was I going to go? At the time, I felt like I had no options. There are options. And to be honest, like I had options that I probably would have never even, like, I never even thought about then, but now that I think about it, I'm like, oh, I could have went there and lived with them, you know? The whole point I'm trying to make is I've been thinking a lot about my past, my childhood, and just taking a look at it with like a serious eye, but an open eye and an open heart, because I have trauma from childhood, parental induced trauma. But my parents had trauma too, and their parents had trauma, and their parents had trauma, right? It's like a downward slide. It's a slope. Like everybody is just like, sledding into the ditch. I said sledding because, yeah, we get snow here. So, anyway, it's all about looking at it, dissecting it, taking what you can from it, learning from it, but recognizing like there are instances where you're going to have to take personal blame for things because we all have our own free will. We're all individuals, especially I'm talking more like I'm a child of someone else. I wasn't necessarily technically still a child, right? Like I was in my 20s, but I was someone's child, right? Depending on the circumstance, depending on how old you are. But recognizing that other people need to heal too. And if they're not healing, there's going to be issues there. But at the same time, how long can you hold that against somebody? Because if somebody doesn't know how to heal, somebody's never said, hey, you need to heal yourself. You need to check yourself. And they don't know how to do that because their parents didn't teach them. They don't know. I think it's what I'm trying to say is there comes a point where you realize that playing the blame game doesn't really help a situation. And I'm not saying that there isn't possibly a person to blame, right? I'm just saying at the end of the day, when you're talking about your childhood, your trauma, things like that, like you need to recognize that in the moment, people do the best that they can, you know? And like even with my parents, they were doing what they could, both of them at the time with what they had. And I'm not just talking money, I'm talking like mentally, emotionally, physically. Like they were doing the best that they could. So going back and dissecting trauma and looking at past situations, it's kind of surreal because, like I can go back and I can look at it and I can think about it and I can see all the different sides and the angles and I can imagine like how my parents felt and all that stuff. And it just makes it a little bit easier to deal with the trauma, in my opinion. I'm just saying. And I'm going to say this too, because I was saying that, I think I said this earlier this morning. Like, we heal from everything from birth to death. And I could literally talk about how there was a point where I was starving and I had to steal food for my job. I could probably talk about that a million times. I'm going to heal from that a million times. Do you know what I'm saying? Like when I was telling them at work yesterday, it was very emotional for me because it was probably one of only two instances where I actually said it out loud to someone. I mean, I don't even think my close friends know, you know? The thing is you, whatever transpires between friends and family and lovers when you go back and dissect situations, whatever transpires between them, healing is always going to help you first and foremost. Healing is always going to bring you back around to enlightenment, to growth, to change, to moving in a new direction, to keep moving forward. Because that is what we should want, not just for ourselves, but everybody. I'm going to leave it there. Take from it what you will. Listen to me. Listen to my words. Don't. It doesn't matter to me. I just say what I say because I like to do it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it resonated. I hope you were entertained. I'll talk to you later. Bye.